Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Poison Okami here, me, myself, and I, back at again with another video, and today's video is going to be a guide for kunai. I feel like kunais and shuriken isn't something that I talk about a lot on the channel. I feel like it is a key mechanic that we kind of take advantage of in this game, or we take for granted. We take for granted this mechanic, and I'm gonna go over and list all the things that make shuriken and kunai very useful, talking about properties of certain ones and how they're implemented and their uses within the game. This is going to be the video talking about why shuriken and kunai are important. Okay, so let's just go from the basics all the way to everything. So kunai traditionally pressed with the square button or the X button on Xbox, and I believe it's the Y button on Switch or whatever. I don't know what key it is on the keyboard, but obviously your character just throws shuriken. Just few shuriken, as you can see, does very little damage. Now your shuriken changes depending on what character you're playing as. So Naruto throws traditional shuriken, Kakashi throws kunai knives, Sakura also throws shuriken, but then you got chakra shuriken, which is when you load chakra triangle or Y, and then you press the corresponding button, and that way they throw a few more shuriken and it adds a few more damage. However, there are characters like Naruto and Madara that throw Fuma shuriken, like Naruto, Madara, Jiraiya. Who else throws Fuma shuriken? PTS Choji, I think. They throw Fuma shuriken like this, the big demon wind shuriken. And it does a lot I say a lot of damage. It does standard damage, it's right. I mean, you throw them back to back like this, then they do quite a bit added up. But you know, they do alright. It's not bad. And then you got Kakashi with chakra kunai. They travel quite fast, as you can see. So the difference between kunai and shuriken is that they travel quite fast. So shuriken travel quite slowly, kunai are faster. So that is your main differences. Kunai travel a lot faster. These are better to throw out in neutral games if you want him to like direct connection. Shuriken, they travel a bit slower. So thing to note is shuriken can cancel out other shuriken or kunai or whatever. As you can see, when we do that, if we do it at the right time, only a lot of them cancel out each other. However, by moving back, if I do chakra kunai, as you can see, it ignores everything that he did there and carries on to go through. However, Shino is, I think, the only character whose chakra kunai can get destroyed by regular shuriken. But we're going to go into that in a little bit as to why. Another thing that I can do is that I can stop taijutsu based tilts as well. So if I can get him to tilt, like so. So there we go, Lee did a tilt there. So they can stop taijutsu based tilts as well, very useful for doing that. And I don't really have a good example because of all the characters that are on the field, but also kunai and shuriken are very good at stopping setups. They're good for stopping jutsu startups. So if I turn on the opponent here for a second, as you can see, I tried doing a jutsu and he won't let me. So already we can see that shurikens are very good in the neutral game. So they're a very good neutral game tool. So I'm going to take this little intervention a minute just to talk about why they're good in the neutral games per se. Is because we throw a lot of jutsus, we do a lot of switch tech, and we try to do a lot of startups or setups that take certain animations to do. And shuriken and kunai are very good at stopping those things and forcing their opponent to waste chakra. You can see my chakra is slowly rebuilding, but I've actually wasted a lot of chakra from those two jutsu attempts I tried doing. However, Lee, he wasted nothing by throwing shurikens. So shurikens and kunais are, even though they lack priority against a lot of other projectiles, and that is one thing I'll get into in a minute, is even though despite the lack of priority they have, they're very good at stopping things that cost chakra or cost your time, like tilts and jutsus for very good examples. But generally, they are very good in the neutral game just for stopping things and creating good scenarios, and they're a free tool to use. And this is what makes shuriken and kunai good, because we can just use them over and over again by jumping. This is the most consistent way of throwing shuriken, is by moving and jumping. As you can see, they're so consistent that there's a little combo counter building up, and I've actually accumulated quite a lot of damage. But if I throw them like this is actually a lot slower, and not only that, but it's unsafe because you can't move or anything until the animation's ended. Whereas this, we're constantly moving and we can block or whatever after, like so. So we can do that, or we can just mix it up into jump blocking. And this is a way of dodging stuff and staying mobile. This is why we jump Shuriken so much in the neutral game. Doing this in the neutral is so strong. So strong. And I think there's a reason as to why Mr. Air Force is always calling me the Kunai King whenever we make videos together, is because I'm constantly doing this when I have nothing else to do in matches, and it's a very good form of approach. You'll see very often when I play Ino, I'll do stuff like this, and then if they've got no subs, I might do something like that as well. But yeah, that is something that I will always do. A situation like that can be character specific, but yeah. So I've actually just then went ahead and told you about the main things of Shuriken and Kunai, and they're important. So even though they lack priority against literally every other projectile, and they even cancel each other out when they're coming from both sides, one thing to consider is that they can actually stop a few more things, and their place, even though I feel like a lot of players overlook Shuriken and Kunai, their place in Naruto, in this Storm game, has a bigger impact than you realize. A very big impact. If Shuriken and Kunai got taken out, like if CC2 literally for Storm Connections just said, you know what, let's take away Shuriken and Kunai and just replace it with something entirely different, it would drastically change the game. And it would make these characters, or make the neutral game, so much more different. You wouldn't actually realize until it's gone. Okay, and now I'm going to get into the more slightly advanced features of Shuriken and how you can use them in fights and their properties. So, let's go over special kunai. So there are some characters that have special kunai. And I don't just mean regular Shuriken like that, that's regular Shuriken. I'm talking about their chakra kunai. So Ino has poison flowers that does damage on impact, and not only that, but then does poison damage after. So as you can see, it is now taking a lot of damage. When combined with regular Shuriken, you can see that the damage over time becomes astronomical. And that is probably about like well over a grab or a tilt's worth of damage, just also off of a chakra Shuriken and some free Shuriken. Earlier, I said I'll get into why Shino has very particular special kunai. Now, I'm not going to show every special kunai character because that is a lot of special kunai. But maybe if you drop enough likes on this video, I will actually go through and do one massive compilation of everybody's special kunai. Like how I did with the fireballs and jutsus. That video will take a long time to make. Oh my god. Be sure to drop a lot of likes and I'll consider it. Sorry, chakra kunai from Shino goes like this. You can convert off of it. This is why we like Shino's chakra kunai. It's very good. So as you can see, you can do this. You can actually chain them if you do them close together. They produce a lot of stun. I remember back in the day when Generations with Fuma Shuriken did stun similar to this. It was so cool. And then yeah, you can convert off of it. You can go into your neutral combo and now juggle. That is guaranteed. You know, so you can do something like that. So this is a special kunai that is exclusive to Shino. Now, there are some other characters that can convert off their special kunai, which is also older Shino, Conan, Sai, and Rasa. Fourth Kazekage. Yeah. A reanimated Kazekage, Rasa. They all have special kunai where if you do combos, you can do this and then you can carry on the combo. However, Shino is a character that can do this. He can convert into his own ultimate jutsu off of chakra kunai. So, it's arguable to say that Shino arguably probably has one of the strongest chakra kunai in the game, right? So, this would now explain why it gets countered out by regular Shuriken. Because, to be honest, regular Shuriken are pretty strong against this, and it's understandable as to why. And this is the beauty of special kunai, is if you are playing a character and they have special kunai, which is kunai like this or like this, it's basically kunai that don't look basic like this. Is they have a characteristic to them, like Side's Birds, Conan's Paper. Pain's Rods is a special kunai, believe it or not. It's a kunai that is something other than the traditional one is this. It's worth looking into the character and seeing how that implements into the neutral game. So Ino's chakra kunai, it implements because it does poison damage. And with that poison damage, with any other little bits of damage that I throw on top of that, does even extra damage. And now you can see all of the extra damage that Ino can get off of all these extra things. And now, because of the poison, look how much extra damage was caused because of poison. If I did all that stuff without poison, the damage would be like 5-10% less. So, I mean, that is a rough explanation for you data analytics there for the Storm community. I don't know if it's exactly 5 or 10% less, but you get the idea. That is the importance of special chakra kunai. I definitely do recommend looking into special chakra kunai, because special chakra kunai characters are extremely valuable in Naruto Storm, and their kunai can basically have more of an impact than you realize. Like literally, you got Shino putting you into the air and doing stuff like that to you or whatever. Hold on a second, let me demonstrate again. Airborne. Literally, you're suspended. You know? So there's always that to do. And then he's also got like different kunai like this, which I'll go into in the future. Okay, another advanced thing with Shuriken is your movement. So characters all have different types of ninja movement when attached with Shuriken. Ino having one of the best ones in the game for distance. As you can see, she ninja moves a very large way because she is very flexible. So as you can see, she covers a lot of ground. You can delay it by doing it at the end of the ninja move animation, like so, to get the extra distance, or you can do it extra, like you can throw it really soon at the start of the ninja move animation and get shorter distance. But still, Ino gives herself a lot of speed when she does it, but if you drag it out, she can do a lot of distance. And one thing I like to do is double jump and do it like that. That's really cool. She drops to the ground nice and easily, so if they charge chakra dash, she can counter instantly, like so. The counter comes out so quickly. It looks like that she actually does it in the air, but she doesn't. She drops to the ground that fast that she is amazing at countering. And then you've got characters like Yamato that do less distance, but they add height. So as you can see, he stays airborne longer than what Ino would. As you can see, so he's able to jump over fireballs or jump over lower grounded jutsu a lot easier with this technique. He can still use this as a dash to dash things. And then you got Shino that do short distance, a lot of height, but a lot of Shuriken. So again, this is something where you want to look at all your characters in your character pool and study them and see when it is appropriate to use these in the neutral game. Now, there are examples of me doing this in fights. I'm actually not going to include any fights in this video because I just realized every fight I have on my YouTube channel, I am demonstrating the power of Shuriken and Kunai all the time. So if you want to see examples of how these are used well, literally go to any of my fights on my channel. Go to other people's channels and watch their fights. Literally, that will explain the importance of Shuriken and Kunai, and just watch for the Shuriken and Kunai usage. And this is why Mr. Air Force calls me the Kunai King. There are some characters that aren't as good, like Hanzo and Kiba. They got quite bad chakra shurikens, short distance, short height, not offering a lot. That's something to consider. The reason why we do ninja move shuriken is to dodge things, like dodging chakra dashes, even charge chakra dashes, jutsu. The shuriken, if they hit, just add that little bit of extra damage in the neutral game so you can get that little bit of health lead ahead. Very useful, especially Shino. You can actually convert off stuff like this as well. So many times I've done that with Shino where like I'll do something like this and convert off of it with my next character. It is literally like a free conversion that he can get a lot of damage off as well. Like as you can see, that's quite a lot of damage added up. But yeah, that is pretty much Ninja Move Kunai and why we do it. And again, if you want to see examples of this, I'm doing Ninja Move Kunais all the time in my matches. So literally just go watch my other fights on the YouTube channel and you'll see why it's used so much. Next example we have is forced landing frames. Okay, so we switched up the characters here because I'm going to show you forced landing frames and how we use them for forced landing frames. Oh, he's still jumping. Okay, so they can be used for forced landing frames because, you know, we can admit that we double jump a lot in the neutral game, or we even do setups that allow for this to happen. So we're going to turn on the block here. So one example is like this. There we go. Now obviously I can't do that anymore, but here's a little cool one with Toburama I found a long time ago. There you go, like that. So you can, they are basically a free tool to get your forced landing frames off of. So that is always a cool thing with them, is a free tool. Now the reason why I say free is because, I mean, if I switch back to Madara, and this is going to look a little stylish for you, so those of you that like to look a little stylish, you're going to enjoy this one. Oh, damn it, I messed it up. There you go. Ninja move Shuriken into the tilt because of our good friend Force Landing Frames. Oh, look at that. Another Force Landing Frames. Hibaramas. Like so. And this is like the setups you can do as well because of it, which is pretty cool. So Shuriken are very good for free Force Landing Frames. So like I said, it doesn't have to be combo setups. I can only show in the form of combo setups because the CPU never jumps high enough. But there you go, like that. And that's what you can do off of it. So you can land all my jutsus off of it as well. Like so. So that's always cool. So yes, Force Landing Frames are a thing that can be done off of your Kunai. And the final example I have for the Shuriken and Kunai is that there are characters dedicated to using the button for combos, like such. So characters like these. Now it is safe to assume that all of these characters have special Kunai. Now Tenten's an interesting one because even though she throws regular Shuriken, her Shuriken actually provide different stun to other characters. But the problem is that you can't convert off it with Tenten because she floats when she does it, as you can see. She drops down a lot slower than other characters. But as you can see, that's a special chakra kunai, that's a special chakra kunai, and this is also a special chakra kunai due to the stun. I mean, this is an arguable one. But Tenten players can just do this back to back and keep this going over and over and do that. Now, sadly, with these characters, not all of them can guarantee their combos to land. So if I do that, as you can see, they can block. Shino doesn't suffer from this. Shino's actually okay from this, but see, 10-10 can't actually land them guaranteed. If the opponent holds block, they will be able to block. This is her up combo, her down combo, her neutral, and everything. Look how many hits she is missing. But if we do Shino's down combo connects perfectly fine. And same with the up combo. We do the up combo here as well. They all connect perfectly fine. Shino's neutral combo connects some of the time as well. If I get him to stop blocking. Yeah, so as you can see then, he didn't like to get hit. But then that time, it works. So it's very inconsistent on whether it works. It's very strange. Mizukage, none of his actually connect properly, as you can see. We'll try it again when he's facing towards us. Yeah, and as you can see, not great. What I found with second Mizukage is that his full down combo lands if the opponent is airborne. There you go. That is like the main way to get his down combo to land, is just by having them airborne. By having them airborne, you can then, you know, do stuff like that, and that is like the main way. So that's stuff. But again, the problem is with long-range characters is that they can't land their full combos, and it kind of sucks, but I mean, that's just how it is. Anyways, this is your Shuriken / Kunai guides, tutorial, or showcase, whatever you want to call it. If anybody talks about, hey, what is the importance of Shuriken and Kunai? This is the video for that. This explains everything you need to basically know about Shuriken and Kunai. If you think there's anything I've missed, be sure to mention it down in the comments below, and let's add on the information. As always, it's been your boy Poison Okami. Janet.